What's up, guys? Harthic here, and we're playing some more Shadowrun. Last time we started investigating murders of some elders, and there's something messed up going on around here. So let's see what we can figure out. I gotta go find a key. So she had the key. Maybe the... Let's talk to Zippy real quick. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Let's go back in. Here. Oof. I don't think there's anything. Yeah. Nothing. Anything over here? No. Okay. Nothing in the bathroom, right? Yep. Okay then. Where the hell are they gonna hide a key at? I honestly don't know where to go at this point. I could go look for... I don't want to talk to the elders, because I think, honestly, they might have something to do with this. That could lead to problems. Mo Jnebi and Breaker Huey. Let's talk to Mo. The man in front of this stall is rooting through a box of music chips with the swift fingers of someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out a constant stream of distorted, atonal music. The stall's proprietor is nowhere to be seen. Can you believe this? They've got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60, the unreleased Enoch Ian Keys double chip show from Brazzaville, but absolutely 0 chips from Shotgun Bloom. This staff stuff is purely second rate. Hey man, don't get down on Echelon 60. I saw them when they played that unlicensed show at the old Choco Tart factory out in Swinwan. That show was amazing, even if the police had to break it up midway through the second act. The music aficionado waves his hand dismissively. The show might have been great, but come on, Echelon 60's old news. They are already being mainstreamed. I saw a Trid ad for the new Mitsubishi Astra scooter, and they were using Main Volt Under Bust as the backing music. Made me sad, I tell ya. The Decker inclines his head politely towards you. Mo Jnebi, at your service. Decker, technologist, music fan. You're not from around here, are you? You don't hold yourself like a native. Not Wampoa Garden, no. Mo runs a hand through his hair, shaking the collected rain off of it. I thought so. What brings you out here? I'm trying to find out who's been killing the elders. The Decker pauses for a moment, face falling. Oh, that's a nasty business. I heard Tong died tonight. I don't know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like a really bad scene. I'm trying to keep my nose out of it. Still, I like this place. Is there anything I can do to help? What can you tell me about the Wampoans? We're a collection of freaks, geeks, nerds, and tech junkies. This place may look like a third world bazaar, but believe me, we have stuff here that's cutting edge in almost every field. Mo swells with pride and plants both hands firmly on his hips. Maybe it's not as advanced as the stuff the Megas have in their development labs, but it's as advanced as anything you can find out here. People come from all over the world to buy and sell here, and work out deals for big shipments. We've got contacts with every pirate and smuggling group in the South China Sea, and every major syndicate and gang in the Free Enterprise Zone knows not to mess with us. Not only are there a lot of us, nobody wants to lose what we're selling. Nice. The Red Dragons made a play 4 years ago, but we chased them out. Mo gestures with both hands as if shooing away a bothersome insect. Scooted off back to Ho Man 10, and they've never been back. Good for you. That's how you survive. It's all about playing the angles. Yeah, it pissed them off, but then we sold goods to the Yellow Lotus at a discount. In exchange, the Yellow Lotus kept them off our back. You don't have to beat up the big guy to win. You just have to make him step back so the other big guys see he's off balance. Stand-up fights are for the Megas. We're about survival, just like everybody else in the shadows. What do you know about the murders? I'm trying to stay as far away from it as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important, and all the talk about monsters is just plain dark. I'm not afraid of monsters, but I don't want to get their attention. All I know is that a couple of months ago we had Elders Nakamura, Yintun, Gan and Magpie, and now we don't. Heard about Magpie. Sounds like she was kind of vicious. To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewish old badger of a person. It was always her way or the highway. She'd butt heads with the elders over damn near anything. The last fight she had was with Tang over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro-drones into a deep fryer and threatening to kick his ass around the block. What was her line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop's called the Jackpoint. Not very imaginative, I know. She always had the hottest programs, best chips, and made some killer decks for anybody willing to pay her rates. It cost plenty of nuyen, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. If you want to know more about her, you should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here who got along with Magpie. You can probably find him by the MTR station. He loves to steam bun cart over there. What's your area of expertise? I'm a decker. I used to be a company man for years, pushing code on their servers, smearing the little cyber pukes that would try to get into our secure systems. I made a pretty good living, had my own place on the 48th floor in a corporate skyscraper. It was the kind of thing the Sims teach you everybody reaches for, the dream life. So what went wrong? I found out the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well and kept me in creature comforts, but I accidentally looked over some misfiled reports while cleaning out a company data store. Turns out one of the company's security riggers had gotten drunk and blabbed about some projects or other being over budget and behind schedule. That's not good. It'd be a fireable offense, right? Mo purses his lips, his gaze going distance for a moment. Well, I guess upper management was worried that info would hurt their stock ratings by a fraction of a point or two. So they fired the guy, with a .308 round right through the skull. That seems drastic. It may only have been fractions of a point, but that was still tens of millions of nuyen. I guess they went beyond a firing offense directly into murder territory. What's worse, since I now knew about both the project and the murder, I could be next in the firing line. I knew I wasn't worth the expense to hunt down, as long as I kept my head down, so I came out here, looking for like-minded deckers. I guess I ended up staying because I could get a semblance of community out here, and I couldn't get that many other places. Magpie's shop is missing a lot of gear. Know anything who might be fencing it? In Whampoa Garden? No way. Most people are too shit scared of Maggie to pull that, and I definitely recognize anything of hers. She marked every program and engraved every chip. Wanted people to know where the good stuff came from. There's not a lot of places to hide that kind of gear around here. We're all packed pretty tight, and this place gossips like a mahjong parlor at tea time. If I were you, I'd ask any other outsider types you can find if they've heard something. Nobody local would risk bringing Magpie's ire down on them, or the rest of the Whampoans. We might cheat other people, but we don't steal from each other. Anybody who gets caught doing that would be kicked out, or worse. See you later, Mo. Okay, so he's saying look for other outsiders. Let's talk to Breaker Huai here. An imposing troll stands in front of a stall overflowing with weapons of all sorts. Pistols, rifles, even brass knuckles overflow into the rug behind him. Oh there, you look like a man who understands the value of self-defense. Breaker Huai, at your service, and I can promise you I can help you defend yourself. What do you say? You want to look? I'm more interested in info. Yeah? Tell me what you want. Maybe I can help you out. You know anything about the murders? Just that the elders have been getting hacked apart. I've tried to stay away from it all. No sense painting the crosshairs on my own forehead, right? The troll shrugs indifferently. I'm nobody important, and I aim to keep it that way. What are your impressions of the elders? Can't say I associate much with them. They organize big trade deals with the Loho Joa pirates, the triads, and legitimate businesses. They tell us if somebody's been blacklisted and dispense justice when someone breaks the rules. Beyond that, they leave us alone, and I leave them alone. I'm just not important enough to register on their radar. Know anything about Magpie? Never met her, thank God. She ran with the Deckers mostly, since she dealt in chips and software. I heard she was hard to work with. I think the phrase I overheard was that she was shrieked like a harpy with a fresh corpse. I don't know, you should ask Zippy though. He's a sharp one with a deck, so he'd know her better than most. Aside from Tong, who slings the BTLs around here? The Red Spear Gang. They run up in here sometimes, but don't cause any trouble. Check out the parking garage south of here though. They usually hole up in there. Step light though. If they don't know you and you cop an attitude, they'll put you in the ground. Funny thing, I heard there was a shootout with some Hong Kong police in the garage a month ago. I was away in Beijing at the time, so I didn't see it directly, but everyone was talking about it when I got back. Why is that funny? Because we don't let the HKPF in here most times. We shoot at them if they try. Every time they come in here, it's bad for us because they're always looking for a scapegoat. Why would the elders let them in? Nobody knows. See you later. Okay, so I got some more info, and that gave me a new idea. Find out what the Red Spear Gangers know. So let's go say hi to these guys. It's in that garage I knew I would have to go check out. Yep. We could talk to, let's see, we got Kita and we got Demergo. Let's talk to Kita. This dumpy looking man is busily hawking a variety of grilled spherical treats of various sizes. Some are sold individually, some are skewered on sticks, and some are packaged up in sets of 4 or 6. A sign on the front of the cart reads, Kita's 1 yen yatai. A cacophony of small trid screens are attached to the cart, each playing a different trid show. Interest you in some dango, takoyaki, maybe a nice nikuman? That's a pork bun with a Japanese twist. Any kind of tasty Japanese treat you can imagine, I've got it. Maybe some curry fish balls are your speed. Kaita will give you your heart's desire, providing that your desire is on my menu. Let me have some dango. Your wish is my command, good sir. Kaita deftly pulls one of the dango sticks out of the cart and drops it onto the grill. A small robotic arm slides out from under the cart and begins turning the stick until the balls of rice flour are a toasted brown color. Lifting them from the grill, Kaita dips the entire stick in a tub of sticky brown sauce before handing it to you. The snack has both a sweet and salty flavor, reminiscent of sesame seeds and soy. The balls inside are pleasantly warm and surprisingly chewy, a bit like eating raw dough but without the attendant chalky taste. Kaita leans back, studying you intently. The trade projections from his cart cause his face to be lit in a constantly shifting array of rainbow hues. So what brings you to Wampoa Garden, my friend? Somehow I doubt it's just the street food. I'm looking into the killings of the elders. Kaita shivers, wrapping his arms around his body. Been hearing a lot about that. I haven't looked too closely, though. It's none of my business, you know? Well, you can tell me about the people here. We're tech heads, deckers, riggers, trid pirates, and everything in between. If I had to define this place, I'd say it's Asia's mecca for people like us. As for the elders, I can give you the basics. I'm a small fry, so we're not exactly on social terms. Nick's some kind of crazy tech witch. She summons up spirits and casts spells, and works as a spiritual center of the tribe. She's a lot craftier than she seems, too. She has this mother-to-everyone act going on, but I've watched her manipulate people into doing all kinds of stuff they wouldn't normally do, and they thought it was their idea the whole time. Magically, you mean? No, I don't think so. She's just really good with people. Ip's a killer, addicted to cybernetic implants. He always has to have the newest and freshest gear. The funny thing is, I've never seen him fight. I kind of get the impression he's a coward. He'd rather let one of his buddies handle a problem than do it himself. All I know about Tang is that he loves drones and does a little decking. Frankly, I find him kind of boring. All he talks about is neural networks, dark knowledge, and evolution of machine learning. Like I said, boring. What's with all the trid screens? Kind of beams and gestures excitingly at them. You like them? I love the trid operas. Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indonesian, it doesn't matter. This way I can watch all of my favorite shows without missing a beat, and I can work at the same time. Okay. Pirated trid is my other business. I rip the streams in the Matrix, trap right into the corporate feeds, and resell them on ship out here. Kaita's face falls a bit, and his enthusiasm wanes. I wish it could pay the bills, but my food cart's a lot better at that. I don't know why, but most of the other Wampoans seem to like Sim over trid. They don't know what they're missing, though. One episode of 1,000 Cranes of Autumn, and they'd be hooked for life. I'm just at the part where O-Rin has confessed her love to Takayama, but he's got to get his mech suit out to the front lines on Mars, so he can't be with her. Downright heartbreaking, I tell you. That sounds like an interesting show, alright. Eyes twinkling, Kaita leans forward into breathless excitement. Oh, you have no idea. 312 episodes chronicling a noble mech pilot and the tumultuous love affair he has with a space station governor's daughter. The pathos, the majesty, the Battle of Lagrange 1 spans 5 episodes just by itself. For some reason, I guess it just didn't resonate with the wider public. I don't know why. Who doesn't love to see a trade show about giant flying robots, love, betrayal, and spies? This sounds like Gundam. I've got to stop myself before I get carried away. Was there something else you needed? Got any thoughts on the murders? Yeah, ignore them. Kaida shrugs indifferently. I saw the crowd down at Tong's Sensory Carnival earlier tonight, but I didn't know the guy very well. I'm a Trid fan. He liked The Sims. Not a lot of crossover between us. See you later. Let's see what this guy has to say. Hey, buddy. This man has a tired, world-weary demeanor about him. His eyes track your movements with a penetrating, critical precision. Something about him, the lines about his eyes perhaps, makes you suspect he's seen a lot of terrible things. He lifts his cup of cheap soy caft as you approach. Let me guess, you're the freelancers the elders are paying to look into the murders around here. That's right. Who are you? Call me Demergo. I'm not one of the Wempawans, but I've been here long enough that they don't think twice about me being here. Demergo drains the last of his soy caft in a large gulp. So, what have you found so far? Awfully curious for a random guy. Professional curiosity. I used to be with the New York Police Department as part of their thaumaturgical research division. Part of the CSI branch, except I did the magical investigation while the other guys pulled prints and checked blood samples. Demergo tosses the soy calf cup towards the nearby trash can. It bounces around the rim and rolls inside. And rolls inside. I like that. Good job. More typos. When I hear about shit like this happening, I keep my ear to the ground. Old habits, you know? So why aren't you investigating it? Elder Nig asked me to look into the killings after the first murder. She couldn't afford my fee, though, so I took a pass. It's not just the money, either. Demergo shudders, folding his arms across his chest. You see that stuff day after day, you pay a price. It eats away at you. You know what it's like to feel all that sickness and anger every day? To be asked to pick up a murder weapon and relive somebody's death? Feel it going into your neck? Pleading in the voice of a dead woman for her killer to spare you? These days, I'd rather interrogate the living, thanks. That sounds awful. Awful. It's more than awful. It's a goddamn nightmare is what it is. One I couldn't wake up from for a long time. Sometimes you have to cut and run. Start fresh. At least now I can pick my own jobs. I can read objects. It's called psychometry. A little trick I managed to pick up. Don't really know how. I hold something, I can tell you what happened to it, who owned it, how it killed someone, if someone loved it, or was afraid of it. Useful, but it'll tax your heart. Before you ask, no, I'm not going to read anything you find. I already told Nig I didn't want any part of this. You want advice, I'll give you that, but I'm not getting drawn in further than that. So, aside from that, is there anything I can help you with? What can you tell me about the Wempawans? I don't know much. Even though I've been here almost 2 years, I'm an outsider. They don't really accept anyone who's not as much of a tech nut as they are. I'm just the crazy mage that lives down the road. Demergo pauses and looks off into the distance as he collects his thoughts. Ip's got some heavy-duty cyberware, basically enforcer for the rest of the council. He doesn't seem to set much policy. Nig is a shaman that worships machine spirits. It's all a bunch of hokum if you ask me. Magic's magic. Whatever you want to call the source is fine by me, but don't ask me to believe in the great spirit of electronics. As for everybody else, they tend to be an okay bunch. A bit strange, but that's fringe culture for you. They scrounge tech, rebuild it, sell it off. Some of them even have their own auto fab shops. Their stuff's pretty high quality, too. People from all over Asia come to shop here if they need something rare or unusual. Tight-knit Leela community, all things considered. What do you know about the murders? They started a couple of weeks ago. Elder Gan was the first to go. That's when Elder Nig asked if I could look into them. He was ripped apart, arms wrenched out of their sockets, skin flayed away with a razor-sharp knife. The rest have been the same. Whatever did it sure didn't care for being a clean death. Demergo lowers his voice, leaning in toward you so that only you can hear. The funny thing is, the Hong Kong police force was out of here a few weeks before that. Maybe a month ago, tops. I know that doesn't seem like much, but the Wempawans don't usually let the police in here. That by itself is odd enough, but it gets even stranger. The officers were loaded for bear, too. Big guns and heavy armor with NBC seals. The works. They went into the parking garage near here and there was some kind of gunfight. Never made it back out. When backup showed up, the Wempawans chased them away. Why would they let cops in and then chase them away? That's exactly the kind of question you should be asking. That's the elders refused to answer when I asked. Demergo shrugs. Go take a look for yourself if you want. Watch out, though. A gang's taking up residence in there, dealing drugs and BTLs. They call themselves the Red Spear. Not too violent if you don't push them, but be careful what you say. Tong wasn't afraid when he died. He was caught by surprise. Demergo arches an eyebrow. That's not what I would have expected. The amount of mess at each scene, the victims should have left behind a hell of a lot of fear and pain. Are you sure? Very sure. Tong died tonight, so the astral signature hasn't had time to fade. There was only a sense of perfunctory accomplishment. And it sounds like this wasn't a crime of passion. A planned attack would have that kind of resonance, in my experience. It's possible the gore show is to throw off anyone looking for the actual reason. Demergo closes his eyes and starts to nod. Yeah, if I wanted to kill someone and get away with it, I'd try to point a finger at some kind of monster. Demergo opens his eyes and smiles a thin, humorless grin. Basic Investigation 101 is usually the simplest explanation, but don't discount other possibilities. You think the mess wasn't incidental? It's a possibility. Ask yourself this. The mutilation happened after Tong's death. Why would a killer perform that kind of ritual? Serial killers who engage in that kind of ritual don't feel perfunctory about it, in my experience. It tends to feel more like they're taking communion. It's a religious or sexual feeling most of the time. If this doesn't feel that way, I don't think the killer is actually pathological. See you later. Okay, another guy telling me to go to this warehouse. So let's go inside and see what we can find. I'm sure the gang will like seeing me. There's only, what, 5, 6, 7... Oh, that's far enough, guy. The woman hefts her weapon, tossing a nod toward the gangers behind her. This lot's our turf. If you're looking for a fix, you're welcome to trade. If you're not here for business, clear the hell out. You try and wander around on our turf, we're gonna have to air you out. So what do you say? Looking for a little pick-me-up, a little nitro to give you some pep? Maybe you want some chips, take that edge off. You want it? I got it. Can I look around this garage? Man, are you deaf? What the hell did I tell you? No. Goddamn well can't wander around our turf. Ganger shakes her head, mumbling something about idiots with no memory. What happened in the fight here? As far as I know, some police showed up looking for somebody. They got in here, all of them got killed. Whoever they were after was long gone by the time we showed up. Used to be a lot of Wampoans living here. They all cleared out, muttering about ghosts and shit like that. Have you heard anything else about the murders? Nothing much, I'll tell you though. I've got a guy named Kang, and he was down in the storm drain system last week. Something was moving down there. Big, too. Man-sized. But it wasn't speaking any language Kang understood. Kid beat feet back here as fast as he could. Dumbass dropped his storm drain key on the way out, though. You want to go looking for whatever it was, you'll have to get a new key from somebody else. Kang stole his from a city worker. Who else might have one? There's a guy named Porter Lamb who's got keys to pretty much everything. He's somewhere between a cop and a handyman. Ewan also mentioned that some elf woman with a crazy colored hair who managed to scam a key. He said she hunted paracritters down there, devil rats and shit. Some of these BTLs you're selling look an awful lot like they came from Tank's shop. Yeah, so what? Why do you care? So if you stole them from Tong's, maybe you saw something I can use in my investigation. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's like this. Broken Thumb Yun was walking down the street and sees this guy going to Tong's joint right at closing time. Tall guy hunched over, had this shitty gray rain poncho draped over him. Now, Yun figures that was weird as hell, so he posts up and waits. He figures the guy will come out soon because Tong's closing up shop. Nothing for 15 whole minutes. Guy comes out, hustles down the street with nobody saying boo. I figure he's waiting for an ebb in the crowds. Yun sees some blood smeared on the door though, so he goes to check it out. Inside? Total carnage. But you know what? Tong's not going to be using his gear anymore, so to hell with it. Yon jacks the whole lot of it. That's pretty cold. So sleeping in the street, or going hungry, or selling BTLs. It's the life we got out. And that's the way it is. Anything else? No, I guess that's it. Okay. So, I can't really investigate the garage, but maybe we can find the key to the storm drains. Because these guys don't want me going back there. That's okay though. see if we can find. What else can we find? Let's back to the ship. The crowd is cleared out. Zippy. Let's go inside here. Maybe someone in here has something we can use. Not the elders. Anyone? No. Anybody in the casino? Rainbow. This woman sports a brilliantly hued hair that shifts colors, scintillating with every passing moment. She is powerfully built, a natural athlete, or someone who works out a great deal. Notably, a large shotgun rests on an arcade cabinet next to her. She affords you a short glance as you approach. When she speaks, you note a peculiarly lyrical accent to her voice. Something I can help you with there, friend? You're throwing off me game and I'm trying to beat my best score. Tank War Europa. I haven't seen one of those cabinets in years. The wooden mouth twists up into a wry grin. Aye, me neither. Managed to find this one near by accident. But I heard the music and thought, hold on there, Rainbow. You know that tune. After a few moments, Rainbow's game is suddenly over, her tank obliterated by a barrage of air-to-ground missiles. She hisses her breath in through clenched teeth. Piss on your ma! A right robbery that was! Right then. Rainbow shakes her head again, and turns to face you fully. You don't seem like them Wampoans. They're all a mite touched, yeah? Maybe you are too, but you don't advertise it like they do. What's your story? I'm looking into the murders that might have been happening. Ah, that's some nasty work. Bodies hacked up, chunks bitten out of them? Make sure you're loaded up for something big and ugly, that's for certain. Where are you from? I can't place the accent. Born and raised in Dublin, down on the banks of the Liffey. Spent most of my early years there working security on sacred spaces. You know, historical sites or undeveloped land. The Green Movement was big in those days. It was a bit like being a park ranger, but sure didn't it beat some dead-end desk job. Spent a lot of time working around County Dublin and Wicklow. I always loved animals, and I found out being a ranger put me in close with them. It was a good time, yeah? Making sure the budding new species like the bogies and centaurs didn't upset the ecology of Wicklow National Park much. Also kept the nastier bits like the Ichiusage from running amok across populated areas. An Ichiusage? Isn't that a demon horse? Aye, that's right. They're cannibal horses, basically. Nasty buggers that drag people into bogs and drown you. Sometimes people call them kelpies on account of the water plants they pop out from. Anyway, as I was saying, problem was, I started to develop this weed knack. Just a small thing. I keep magic from working when I'm around. Spells don't go, spirits fall apart, and the paracritters get real feisty, yeah? To make things worse, this was around the time Liam O'Connor threw his cue and formed Tir Nog Nog. With all his fancy talk about elves and ancient magic, 'twas a bit scandalous to have a woman guarding ancient sites that wasn't just mundane, but also killed magic around her, so I got fired. You're older than Tir Nog Nog? Bang on, and I don't look a day over 25, do I? Rainbow flexes one arm, grinning widely. Aye, I'm Irish, not one of them noggins. Pack of punters, a lot of them. Always going on about their ancestral lands and the glory of the past and all that bullshit. I saw them kick dozens of old Irish families off their land just because their ears weren't pointy enough, or they didn't meet some stupid arbitrary criteria of old nobility. It was that kind of thing that just brought back the IRA, just like in the bad old days of the Troubles. The Skivers and the New Terror didn't pay for the land they took. They just had a bunch of bullies with guns. Rainbow scrunches her face up into a disgusted sneer and Mox spits into the ground. I've always been sympathetic to the little guy in a fight. They offered to pay for my help, so I said yes. Simple as that. So you became a terrorist? Thad, don't be so dramatic. They fixed me up with a cyber stitcher and gave me a lot of the kit I've got in me now in exchange for going overseas to work for them. Smuggling, running guns, making contacts in Europe. Same kind of shite all revolutionary groups do. Seeing as how my own fam got kicked out of their house, I was glad to do it. I still do work for them these days, but there's a lot less of it. Lady Day cracked down on dissidents, but good. So what are you doing here? Me? I'm in a bit of a big game hunter these days. I get into strange places, look for some kind of power critter I've not seen before, and then I put a bullet in it. Only the nasty ones, though. No point in hunting a talus cat or such. It's only things like gargoyles, barghests, and whatnot. All the work I did with them in my youth does a good job of keeping me alive. I was out in Jakarta last year, hunting one of them Indonesian vampires. You ever heard of them? Call them layak or pananaglons, depending on who you ask. Their heads and guts come out of the body cavity, and they fly around like a giant messy pile of pasta. Rainbow bares her teeth and pantomimes floating around. Took me a solid 2 months to track her down, but I did. Once the job was done, I asked myself, okay, Rainbow, where's the best place in East Asia to find some action? So Hong Kong it was. All the key what sits here mean a bigger concentration of odd critters than you'd usually find in a city. Been spending a lot of time down here in the storm drains these days. I heard rumors of a rat king down there, where a mess of devil rats got all tied together into some kind of big, awful rat beast. Haven't tracked it down yet, but I figure it's only a matter of time, yeah? She pats the barrel of her shotgun affectionately. Do you have a key to the storm drains? Of course I do. How else would I get down to look for strange creepy crawlies, eh? Why do you ask? Can I borrow it? I want to investigate something down there. Aye, sure. Watch your step down there, though. The drains are a mite bigger than people normally expect. Rainbow tosses you the key. Best of luck! See you later, Rainbow. Okay, I got the freaking storm drain key. Okay. Not as much progress as I was hoping you'd make. But hey, you know what? It's another episode down. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me wander around the Whampoan area. If you did, like it, comment below, subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Harthic7790, my Facebook page, facebook.com/Harthic7790, or my Tumblr page, Harthic.tumblr.com. Until next time, guys, this is Harthic. See you later.